Shalom, all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shem Rashai, by Shem Kakadash, step unto the apostles, step unto the elders, great millstone. Salutations to you all, keep that teaching the truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This is your brother Kabash coming at you with another edifying lesson through the spirit of Yahweh, by Shem Rashai. This article is going into "This is not a joke." LA mayor bans most walking. The mayor of LA is banning people from walking. This is deja vu because this happened in Australia too as well. Could nobody leave their residence nor the premises. They couldn't even walk outside in the front lawn or the front entrance. The same thing is happening over here. The first shot of the vaccination was displayed over there in UK. They're gonna do the same thing for over here. See, over here is gonna be different. You know, Esau is about to reveal them horns, them devil horns that he has. You gonna see how real ill this devil can get. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has issued an order for residents to stay at home. With that comes a ban on the use of public transportation, driving, and most forms of walking. Dang, that's crazy. Yes, a ruler thinks he has the moral authority to tell people they cannot walk. Okay, whatever, Matt Slavel. That's what people thinking about, but you know, these billionaires, they think because they in the know and they, so-called telling people that they with the people. No, they really just provoking people to be sedition amongst the government. All this is stage, man. But dang, the LA mayor is banning everything. And this is going to cause sedition among men. It says, does anyone still believe this is the land of the free? If you do, you're delusional. Yeah, it's true. You are delusional. Right in front of your face, man, that they are the devil, man. It says right here, as Christmas approaches, Mayor Garcetti has decided that the coronavirus, which is a massive host, is causing needless suffering and death. We must minimize contact with others as much as possible, Garcetti wrote in his order dated December the 2nd. The steps were needed to avoid risking needless suffering and death, he said. The term tyrant is not harsh enough for Garcetti. There are several exemptions, including for faith-based outdoor services and the homeless. Others that can continue to operate include supermarkets, grocery stores, and healthcare operations, but that doesn't cover gyms and similar facilities. Still, activities such as golf, tennis, and pickleball are permitted according to the order. Just don't go for a walk with your dog. Yes, this is real. It's crazy, man. Additional orders force visitors to LA to complete forms stating they know and will comply with California's demands to be a slave. Anyone over the age of 16 traveling to LA must complete an online form upon arrival to acknowledge they've read and understood a California travel advisory. Failure to submit the form is punishable by a fine of up to $500. Wow. New World Order is in your face. It's gonna be harsh, yo, with that RFID chip in place. You can't do nothing. They see everything. Everything, yo. And they can do anything. How you people gonna stop that? And it says, meanwhile, the federal government has paved the way to execute Americans in any way they feel. Yeah, because President Donald Trump signed off on hangings, fire squad, and the gas chamber, and the guillotine to all come back in forms of punishable to criminals against the United States government. You know, so you get out of line, then that's what he gonna do to you. He may have you under a guillotine ready to get your head chopped off. And not the old fashioned way. He may just want half of your head in there and chop the back of your skull off. Like Esau, the Lord said it's going to be a time since the nation was on earth. It's going to be a time that no nation on earth ever experienced since the beginning. That's how it's going to be. It says, meanwhile, the federal government has paved the way to execute Americans in any way they feel is appropriate as they continue to create more criminals out of those pesky citizens who refuse to be controlled or live in fear. See, they come for us, man. Check out Project Megiddo. You see what they got on the list. These devils are moving, yo. 2021, forget about it. This is Second Ezra, chapter 15. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. That's what's going to happen, man. You see, months ago, he was already on the steps of the city hall ready to, kidnap the governor, I think, of Michigan. You know, and several other parades in these cities where the people is tired of COVID-19. These things are happening, man. You just had one restaurant owner, I think he was in New York. He got arrested for having public service. You know, the restaurant open to the public. And they was getting harsh on them because of the COVID-19 mandate. I'm talking about, man, they ain't playing, yo. They arrested this cat 2 times. They say he ran over a police officer and drug him down the street. You know, and they press some more charges on him. But all that wouldn't happen if they would have just let the man be. But all because of this COVID-19, they got permission to do everything. So these people are going to be in uproar, or they are in uproar. You know, we just haven't seen the clip yet. It says right here, it says one people should stand up and fight against another and swords in their hands. For there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A lot of people are going to fight back and win against the government, against the powers that be. A lot of people going to overtake these troops as that are in their towns, and they may just comb out the parts that they own, that they took over, because it says in the scripture, it says 3 to 4 men should be in the houses with swords, meaning you gonna have people coming in packs to ransack your house, and them 4 may be the only 4 in town with weapons. That type of scenario. And the power's gonna be in their hands. That's all, according to how far their power go. It says, verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, which a lot of these people are going to do in LA. LA ain't exempt. But they're going to push it so far if people rebel to the point that they're going to fire not rubber bullets, but real bullets on them and mow them down the street, because they are becoming a real life threat, being that it's a biohazard condition, such as COVID-19. And it says, verse 17, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. Yeah, ain't nobody going. And if you go over there, see, they're making it distasteful to go over there in LA. People like to travel and go to LA, so they making LA like it's off limits, and people really can't enjoy a vacation over there. You gotta soon as you get off the plane, you gotta sign a form, do all these test runs, and then you can enter into the city. And then when you enter into the city, you gotta be doing a particular thing, or you can't do nothing. So ain't nobody trying to do that. This is the first phase. This ain't even to the I Am Legend phase yet, where Will Smith went inside of Times Square, and it was just desert out there, meaning it was the land was deserted, man. The city wasn't groomed the way that it normally groomed. You had grass growing out the streets and tall grass roots, lions and other animals, going through the city, but the city got trees and all that stuff in it. That's the future right there of America before the end of it be, which is about the nuclear missiles. It says, verse 18, for because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be troubled, and men should be afraid. And that's what's happening right now. It's only going to get worse. You even see people that know each other, relatives, they offing each other in the homes, man. There's several incidents of that happening. But in this time, it's going to be even worse, because there are going to be no policemen, and the troops, they are ready to shoot you down. So like you really stuck in between, because the troops only want to gather you up and take you to a concentration camp and just kill you on sight. The policemen, they ain't gonna have no power in that time. Policemen are gonna be just like you, or they gonna be drafted to the troops. And then you're gonna have to fend for yourself. It says, verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yeah, people out there gonna be friends one day, then the next day when this befall upon people, you people gonna turn on each other in the twinkling of an eye. That's why it's important for you Israelites to get in the shadow of the Most High than to be out here prey for the wolves. Cause it's coming, man. Esau's coming with that hammer. And the Most High is allowing it to. But the Most High is also sealing the elect with that tawah. It says right here, verse 19, and man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But other times in the season, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. So Esau is saying that these lockdowns are going to make people safe. Take the COVID vaccination, which has the RFID chip in it, which is the mark of the beast. They're saying all these things to not get you stirred up to what's really going on. Because if everybody knew what was going on, it would be way different out here. Especially you, Jake. Y'all don't know what's going on, so they're going to catch you like a thief in the night. Because they saying peace and safety with this vaccine, stay in your homes, vote, and whatever law and executive orders that come behind that president, you are consented to it. So anytime that they have a national emergency, which they have still in effect right now, when they turn up the heat on that national emergency, you're literally going to see them invade everything that you thought that you had of your own, which is your privacy, your own home. They can come in and snatch you out in your goods, and they make and mess you up over it. These are the times that we're going in. It says, for when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Yeah, we're not in darkness. Meaning we are illuminated, or we in the know to what's really going on from our teachers. And through these scriptures that we're being taught. We know who the enemy is. We know who we are. We are the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians. The so-called white man is Esau. And every prophecy that goes along with to our life in the now, we know through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Rashai, and that alone is going to save us from what the Lord has allowed Esau to come with in this wrath. But it is going to catch 2/3 of Israel, though. Israel, 2/3 of Israel is going to get that chip. Esau has already besieged Israel twice over, because now we living behind enemies' lines. So that's already a siege. And then for him to allow the troops to come in, and then you can't get nothing unless you get a ration from them, which may be MREs or some dog food that they're going to feed you until something else happens. Those were times we're coming into. Verse 5, ye are all the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Yeah, so we must watch and be sober because we are living in a time of the Lord's judgment. Whether you be sealed to be saved or you be sealed to be destroyed. And watch and be sober meaning, we stay in the truth. And we don't be in that worldly spirit drifted with every wind of doctrine or even with our own ways. That's being circumspect, examining ourselves and ultimately striving to get up out of here. So with that, I hope this video was edifying. Till then, I'm going to say shalom.